Hello and welcome to episode 19. Yep, 19 of TB3 Sports Talk. I am Colby. I'm here with Will. I'm here with Joel. And first off, I want to thank you guys for your patience. This episode will be coming out a little bit later than your normal TB3 episodes come out, and it also will be a little bit different. Us TB3 boys are trying something new this week. We are going to split up our episodes a little bit. So
trying to see if we can cut those 3-hour episodes.
We're gonna try to see if we're gonna give you the same amount of content, but we're gonna split it up to see if it's a little less intimidating for you guys to watch the whole thing. Because we've heard from some of you guys that 3 hours is something that you look at and it's intimidating you guys.
It's very intimidating.
It is. I get that. We have the chapters. There will still be chapters in this episode for all the different things we talk about. But in this episode, what you should expect is we're going to recap the Bucs game. We're going to preview next week's Bucs game, and we're going to recap the last 4 or 5 games of the Lightning, all right? That's all we're going to do this episode. And then this episode will come out on Thursday, and on Saturday, we are going to have a TB3 special edition college football last final week. So we're going to talk about the playoff, who's in, who's out. We're not going to get into that now because it's a sore subject, but we're going to talk about that.
We're gonna can of worms too.
We're gonna preview both bowl games of your major Florida teams. One of the Florida teams did not make a bowl game, unfortunately. Another sore subject. And we're also gonna give you guys some predictions and previews for a bunch of the bowl games coming up in bowl season.
I think we're gonna predict them all.
We might just predict them all. So that's what to expect. It will be on Saturday. So if you're missing college football, I know there's Army Navy, but nothing else. If you're missing college football, you can hear us talk about college football. So that's the plan, but we're going to get into this episode where we're going to talk about Bucs and Lightning, a true TB3 episode.
Yeah, we're back to the basics. Strictly Tampa Bay, pro sports. Love the college ball, man, but it's getting close to the end, unfortunately. We got to focus on the major teams.
Sad.
It's
I've
sad.
been feeling nostalgic and emotional the last week, man.
I've been quite angry.
Everybody's been sad and stuff on the broadcast. It's done.
It's the end of an era. We're witnessing an end of an era, and might never be the same. Probably won't, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think we got to talk about our Tampa Bay teams, though. And who should we start with first? Should we go Bucs?
Let's get into the Bucs.
Bucs is first in the alphabet, B versus L. So
there you go.
Alphabetical order
Bucs,
would say
Bolts,
we gotta go.
Hey,
No.
Nope. Bolts are not their real name. They are the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We can't be getting into nicknames here, people.
I like the Bolts, though.
I do too.
I hate the Bolts. I'm the minority here.
Oh, you are one of those.
Didn't they have it on the jersey?
Yeah,
Those
Those are sick.
Those jerseys
The
were sick.
only good thing about those
sick.
jerseys was the color combo, but the fact that Bolts was on it was terrible.
All right, let's get into it.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yes.
Yeah, listen here, guys. If you didn't watch the game, I will recap it for you right now. All I got to say is a win is a win. And we're happy the Bucs win. It feels good when they do. It doesn't matter who it's against, what the score is, what it looks like. A win is a win. It's a win in Tampa Bay, and I've been riding high on it because there hasn't been a lot much more to get happy about, unfortunately. But the Bucs are
getting a better draft pick doesn't make you happy.
The Bucs are keeping me off the ledge. They are keeping me off the ledge. Let's get into it. 4:05 p.m. game on CBS, a little out of the norm from your 1 o'clock start times. But the Bucs host the NFC South foe, Carolina Panthers, who are dog water. They are bad, and they don't look like they're getting any better. But this game, unfortunately, had a lot of rain in it. Hurricane-style rain. I don't know about the wind, but the rain was definitely torrentially downpouring.
December,
so it was a little
man.
sloppy.
I don't know what was up with
Yeah,
Florida
that was
last
weird.
week.
And by my house, it was completely sunny.
That's what you get for
That's the
having
weird
a
thing.
4 o'clock game, though.
Well, yeah, but that came in about 3 o'clock in our area, and then it got to the Ray J about 4 o'clock. That's what happened, man. It was,
4 o'clock games.
It was rainy, it was muggy, it was wet, it was not ideal playing conditions.
Yeah, and if you're Alabama, you'll ask to cancel the game and delay it. But if you're the Bucs, you're playing through it.
That's what
your
men
Warriors.
do.
That's the NFL. Anyways, the game starts off. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the ball first. And what do? They punt it away. Same old Bucs. But you know what? sometimes teams are just consistent, and the Bucs are consistent at punting the ball on their opening drive, and that's what happened. Carolina, though, on their next drive, they punt the ball away, and the Bucs get it right back. And then the Bucs start to turn it up when the Bucs march down the field 57 yards in 8 plays, eat up 3.5 minutes of clock, and Rachaad White runs up the middle for a touchdown. Fire the cannons. Bucs are up 7-0. The Panthers, though, they try to get some momentum, but all they can get is a field goal. It's 7-3. Then 4 punts. Bucs punt, Panthers punt, Bucs punt, Panthers punt. It's like a tongue twister, but there was just a lot of punts and not a lot of action. Then finally the Bucs get the ball. Baker Mayfield draws back to pass. He's got Mike Evans wide open, and the ball slips like a slip and slide at the splash park. Too much rain. Ball gets intercepted. Could the Panthers do something? No, they could not do it. They would have to punt the ball again, right back. Then we go 7 punts later into the second half. It's still 7-3. It's a boring game. We're getting a little scared because the offense cannot get it going. And then the worst thing that could happen does. The Panthers go score a touchdown led by Chuba Hubbard, the running back for the Panthers, and they're up now 10-7. And I think some people are getting a little sick. They're getting a little sick, maybe myself included. But I still have faith in the Buccaneers. I still do. Because the very next drive, Baker Mayfield finds Mike Evans wide open. He's running down the field. Touchdown! Mike Evans on one play, 75 yards. Can you believe it? The Bucs answer right back. Right back. It only took them one play. The Bucs are back up 14-10. Then we get some more punts. It's pretty routine. The Panthers get the ball, they punt it away. The Bucs get the ball, they punt it away. The Panthers get the ball, they punt it away. And then the Bucs are like, you know what? We're calling game. So they march down the field again. This time, Chris Godwin would get a little jet sweep and run for 19 yards. Where's he been? Oh, wait, he's a running back now, I guess. Anyways, he scores a touchdown, 21-10 Bucs. You think it's probably over, that puts a nail in the coffin, but no. The Panthers go down, and they score a touchdown. They go for 2 and get it. It's 21-18. And the Bucs, could they run the clock out? No, they punt it away, and it all comes down to one drive. Can Bryce Young, the rookie, put the team on his back? It is 4th and 1 at the Carolina 40. He's rolling out. He's looking for an answer. He throws. Intercepted. Antoine Winfield Jr. The Bucs seal the game, and that would be it. They get a huge NFC South win and a huge win to go 5-7 now in the season, and they are still in the hunt for first place in the NFC South.
Well, let me tell you what, guys. Like so many coaches have said before, I'll take an ugly win over a pretty loss. And that's what it was. It was an ugly win. It was against a subpar team. We knew it. We were hoping for a convincing win for the Bucs. But when you're so banged up like the Bucs were in this game, it's hard to be frustrated with anything like that's a win. You know, it's hard to be frustrated with a win because the Bucs were absolutely banged up, both sides of the ball, people not playing, people who are playing injured, the whole shebang. Banged up, and they found a way to get a really big win and hopefully be able to get healthy for a huge game coming up against the Falcons.
It was a must-win. In my book, I'd say it was a must-lose. And they won this game, and I was pretty bummed. I got to say, the most excited moment in this game for me was when the Panthers got the 2-point conversion. I cheered loud. But, yeah, I think that's a top 5 pick for the Bucs out the window with this win.
That's your report from Bucs
Mr.
Tank Lover.
Simon Cowell.
2024 is our year. 2024 is our year.
Well, a top 5 draft pick isn't guaranteeing it. 2024 is our year.
I trust Jason Light enough to pick a good guy out of that draft.
Hey,
give him a top 5 pick, and I think
I'm hot and cold with them.
I like him. I like him a lot.
Great draft this year.
Yeah, you were like, this is the greatest draft in Buccaneers century.
And
I don't even know who Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp are.
Because you look at their draft, and they had high picks. They had high picks because the Bucs were terrible. They get Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp early because they were bad. The Bucs went to the playoffs last year, and I still think they got the steal of the first round, the steal of the second round, definitely the steal of the first round. And it's like all these guys have been impact players all year, and you don't normally see that rounds 1 through 6 of your draft. But anyways, we could get into that in the off season. We'll see how the season ends. But yeah, I'm with you, Colby, 100%. You just have to accept with the NFL, games are going to be close. When you look at what happened, I mean, just if you weren't watching, just brutal rain, and we don't really. I mean, Florida, it rains all the time. You don't really expect that though in December, and especially the defense, man. I think that's the biggest story. You're without Devin White, you're without Jamel Dean, you're without Levante David, and then you're without Servace Dennis. You had Ryan Neal playing linebacker the entire game, and the Bucs still basically dominated. Mm-hmm. They still dominated on defense, and I think despite the score, I want to make excuses for them because I think this game is sunny and bright. The Bucs blow them out. That's neither here nor there. But I still think the defense dominated enough and sealed the deal when it counted. In clutch moments, they came up.
And before we get into any of the unsung heroes of the defense, the people that slid in, the people that played different roles than they normally do, we're going to get into the best safety in the NFL, your NFC Player of the Week, your Walter Payton Man of the Year, Bucs nominee, Antoine Winfield Jr. This dude all year has been a bright spot in a dark sea. He's been amazing. He's been a dog all year, and this game was maybe one of his best. I know a couple of weeks ago we set a single game record for defensive back tackles, but he might have topped it this game because he had 8 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for loss, 3 pass breakups, and a game-winning interception. That is video game numbers. That is absolutely ridiculous. Antoine Winfield, give that man a blank check. Give him whatever he wants. He's a dog. I love that he's been healthy and been able to show off his full capabilities this year. And I just love watching that man play. I just love it.
Yeah, I want to make him a for-lifer, a Bucs for-lifer, because the performance he's put on, not just this game, all year. Always been consistent. You always know you got a dog in him. He's always done everything right. And I just think, man, I agree with you, Colby. I agree with you. Give him everything.
He's a younger guy, too. Like, I want him to be the anchor of my defense.
I mean, yeah, just give him everything. He's so good. He's so good at playing football and being the leader of our defense because he's had to be that. Because, I mean, you got veterans that have been hurt, have been out of the lineup, and he has been the steadying for our ship. He's been the thing that keeps us going on defense. So this game, honestly, this goes to him, man. He's MVP of this game. He's MVP of this season, man. He's been absolutely fantastic. And another thing I want to say is shout out. We talked about them a bunch of episodes ago, back in the preseason. I want to shout out the Bucs linebacker coaches because they have one of the deepest linebacker rooms in football. And they got tested because every single linebacker on the Bucs, it felt like, got hurt. But then you got guys like J.J. Russell filling in and getting 7 tackles and a tackle for loss and, you know, a pass breakup, all that good stuff. And then you also have K.J. Britt coming in playing solid minutes. You have Ryan Neal filling in, which was crazy, and filling in really well. I mean, some might say, make him a linebacker. Get that man. We need to find a way to use Ryan Neal in plays where we can make him not cover because he's a great run defender. And Todd Bowles has been saying it. To give him credit, Todd Bowles has been saying it, but his pass defense has been overshadowing his run defense. But, I mean, these guys that filled in, the 2 backup linebackers, Ryan Neal, I mean, kudos to them. They did a great job.
Yeah, I think we have to keep on the subject of Ryan Neal for just a little bit because he got a lot of hate. And some of it was warranted because you look at the game against Atlanta, way out of position. A couple times this year, the same thing happened, and got a lot of hate from the media and from the fans. And but he's a ball player, man. I doubt he wanted to go in and play linebacker, but he did it for the team. And he played really well. And I think I mentioned it earlier that a couple episodes ago that Todd Bowles wanted him out there because of how good his run defense is. And I think you got to see it on display a little bit more coming from the linebacker position. And sometimes there's just fits. Some guys just fit in certain spots. And I think, again, linebacker might be a great spot for him. I mean, he really could succeed at linebacker the way he was playing. And I think it takes a little bit of pressure off of him because at linebacker, you're not going to be covering any receivers. You're not going to get beat over the top. You got all the inside zone stuff. You got tailbacks out of the backfield, sometimes the tight ends. And I think having somebody like that who's probably faster than Levante David and Devin White, you have somebody like that in there, and that could be a huge weapon to shut down tight ends.
The versatility there is great, too. If a guy goes down, you can just, hey, can you get this position today? And they're just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, the versatility is something that we should be using because Ryan Neal, he doesn't need to be a designated linebacker. He doesn't need to be that. But you can use packages where you have 5 defensive backs in, and you have Ryan Neal in there, and he can have range like a defensive back, but he can play like a linebacker. He can shed blocks and get in the run game. That's a huge advantage of being able to stop these spread offenses, being able to stop these really athletic tight ends, these running backs that catch it out of the backfield. That's a huge weapon. So it's kind of frustrating that it hasn't been used by Todd Bowles or that hasn't really been thought of. But that's all right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's a safety.
No,
man.
he is, but I'm just saying.
I don't think he expected he was going to play linebacker at all in his career.
But I'm just saying, if you know how good of a run defender he is, I feel like they could have at least experimented with it. Even in the preseason, we didn't see anything like that, even in the preseason, you know? So that's my thing. But, I mean, kudos to them. Like I said, J.J. Russell, great game. I think we all kind of saw it in the preseason. He was all over the place. He was like the leading tackler in every preseason game. So I think we all kind of saw it, and it didn't shock me to see him making tackles, making plays.
No, yeah, he was somebody who definitely shined in preseason, and probably wasn't guaranteed he was going to play this year just because of how deep the linebacking core is. But to get your moment and make the most out of it in a real game that matters, that's so huge for him. So happy for him, really am.
I don't know. How do we feel about the corners? I feel like decent game. Nothing
Honestly,
of note either way. I feel like they
really
had a solid
great
game. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the announcers were saying it too. Like, I can't remember who it was. Everybody just seems anti-Buck. You know, it doesn't matter what announcer it is, unless it's our boy Rondé. But they're like, you know, we expected Adam Thielen to have a big game just because of how poor Tampa Bay secondary could be. And honestly, that dude was kind of non-existent.
3 catches, 25 yards.
Yeah.
That is non-existent.
And the Bucs shut him down. And like we said, we've seen Jamel Dean go out, and the Bucs have had big issues covering without him. He seems like a huge hole in their defense. But even with him out, man, I think this might have been one of the Bucs' best games from the secondary, even without Jamel Dean.
I agree.
The Panthers put up 8 punts, so doing something.
Oh, it was a punt fest on Sunday.
The Bucs had 8 too.
It was getting hard to watch at points. It was a punt fest on Sunday. However,
and people said the Seminoles game was boring.
Yeah. We're not mentioning them. We're not talking about them.
Don't get me fired up. Don't get me fired up.
Boring to boring goes.
No.
I think the Bucs won.
Oh, I agree. I do think the Bucs won. I think the Panthers did have 133 yards rushing. This is 2 games in a row that teams were around that mark rushing. However, this one felt a little different as the Panthers only averaged about 3.9 yards per rush. You can live with that. I think the Colts had more gashing runs than the Panthers did. Chuba Hubbard, Miles Sanders, they're solid backs. I mean, they got a rookie quarterback. They're trying to run the ball, establish that. So they had an effort. They made a effort to do that, and they did it pretty solidly. But the Bucs stopped it enough where it wasn't really a problem, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. There's really nothing as far as their offense that was like, man, like they're really getting the Bucs, whether it was run or pass. There was nothing that stood out to me. One thing that did, though, and I think this has been a huge issue for the Bucs, a huge issue that they seem to have gotten right, at least for this game, is stopping teams on third down, especially third and short. But this Sunday, Carolina went 0 for 3 on 3rd and 1, which is huge. And then on 3rd and 2, their only 3rd and 2 of the game was a sack. And I think the Bucs have struggled with that consistently. consistently this entire year. And it doesn't matter who you play, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, that's a lot easier to get in this league, especially with how talented and fast guys are. So the Bucs were able to shut down all of them. I think that's incredibly huge.
Yeah. I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row. I think last week we talked about it. The good defense on 3rd down was kind of negated by the Colts having 3 4th down conversions, so it kind of didn't feel like the Bucs had as good defense on 3rd down. But they did stop the Colts to a very respectable number for the defense on 3rd down defense, and then this is another step in the right direction for 3rd down defense for the Bucs. So kudos to them. Like I said, it was a really solid defensive game. I wouldn't say it's their best game of the season, but it was the defense did everything they needed to do to win the game.
It's great to see them win this. Now let's see if they can repeat this against the Falcons.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, woo, we can talk about it, but I mean, it is the Panthers, but a win is a win. Like, you gotta like it. So let's just make a rhythm of this.
Yeah.
Building back up that confidence. I can say, yeah, we can win a game.
Yeah, I think one thing too, the Bucs, how they can stop Atlanta is the pass rush, which has been really good this year. I have another stat here. Yaya Diaby, man, Kalijah Kancey. This is what I'm saying. Kalijah Kancey, a steal.
If we could get the veterans to play like the rookies, the Bucs would be all right. But
the veterans have a Super Bowl, man. That's the difference.
They need to get that fire back with them. But
fire back.
The rookies have been great. I think Will's going to show you a stat
about
the pass rush.
The stats, the Bucs are on pace for 49 sacks this year, which would be the second best behind 55 in 2000. So you can say what you want, man, but this pass rush is good, and I think they've only gotten better, especially with Kancey getting acclimated to the NFL, getting a little healthier. I think Yaya Diaby plays better just about every game. And then you always have consistencies from the other guys. And there's 12 different guys on the Bucs who have sacks. 12 different guys. So everybody's getting a piece of it. You even have, like we mentioned, Antoine Winfield. The pass rush is huge, and that encourages me. That encourages me a lot. Everybody's getting a piece of the pie.
Yeah, Yaya, it might not come to fruition this year. It will, but I think he's going to be such a pivotal piece and pickup in the middle rounds for our team, because having him and then having Shaq Barrett on each side is going to make the pass rush so formidable. And just as the season has progressed, like Will said, Yaya Diaby has gotten so much better week by week, and it's fun to watch, man. I know, JTS, that's kind of what we were expecting him to do, and I think just the leaps that Yaya Diaby has made, it's kind of refreshing to see, because we've kind of seen JTS not make those same type of leaps. So it's refreshing to see Yaya Diaby do that, and he looks like the outside linebacker of the future, man. He looks great.
Yeah. We're gonna be saying his name for years.
Oh, yes.
I need a
such
jersey.
a fun name, dude.
I need a zero jersey.
Zero. It's so
sick.
clean. He's
So
so
sick.
awesome.
But yeah, JTS, man, I want to see him do good, but at this point, man, if it's NFL, it's a business, and if you got somebody like Yaya who's making the plays, you got to play him. You just got to.
You got to make room on the cap for other guys. Yaya's under his rookie contract. Sometimes stuff like that just makes sense.
Yeah, so, hey, come on, JTS. Still rooting for you. Let's keep it going. He does great in the run game. He's a great run defensive guy, but we need a lot pass rush. That's been one of our biggest issues. So let's go, guys. Come on, fire them up.
Hey,
get fired up.
If you're gonna play runs on the early downs, we'll just put Yaya in for the pass rush. It's
True.
good to have depth. It's great to have depth. I love depth. All right, so I love that. What I didn't exactly love this game was kind of the inconsistency of the Bucs offense. I think weather, like Will said, huge factor in this. The ball was slipping. Baker did not look right all game, to be honest, but still, against a team that has given up points pretty consistently over the season, I wasn't that encouraged by the Bucs offense.
Yeah, but I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I really do, and I really think that's the case, man. Like, I just look at how much it rained, and I just look at, it was impossible to throw. You slow down in the run game. Because, like, even that interception, man, like, for those of you at home, if you didn't watch it, you can just see a gallon of water splash off that ball when Baker throws it. So it just throws you out of rhythm. And I really think if the elements were different, we'd see 27 points, 30 points.
So I guess that answers the question, our almost annual segment. Is it Trask time?
No.
It's not.
Yep, that's
I'm
it.
I'm on the fence. I'd be cool either way.
No, we still want Baker. We're still Baker. We're still trying to win.
Hey, I'll give the Bucs credit on that. The winner of this game truly was the one who lost the game, and the Bucs won the game. So, I mean, they're trying. They haven't given up yet. So good on them.
What did you just say?
The winner of this team is actually the team that lost this game.
The winner of the
He
game.
he's still going on about the
Okay.
draft
So,
pick.
get this. If you really want to do the Panthers wrong, you lose this game, and then they're now tied with the Patriots for the first overall pick.
I got no beef with the Panthers. I want to make the playoffs, man.
And I don't think the Panthers.
I'm just throwing that out there. Like, so really, the Panthers in a way won this game.
Well,
but,
yeah, the Panthers.
Honestly, though-
but what I am saying though is good on the Bucs. They haven't given up yet. They're not selling for the draft. I am. Good job, Bucs.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with the Panthers, I could care less what they do. I think David Tepper is a terrible owner. And
They wanted to win this game.
They're never
too.
gonna figure it out. They won't.
They were playing
Well,
for their coach.
The players. What coach?
The new guy.
The players.
I don't know his name.
The players never are trying to lose. I know you've heard this probably countless times, but in the tanking season, the players on the fields aren't the ones tanking. It's the people making the decisions, the people telling the coach who to play and who not to play, all that good stuff. Those are people tanking, not the players. So, yeah, they were playing hard. They were playing like they wanted to win because they did. They're NFL players. They're playing for jobs.
In a game of losers, both tried to
you got
win.
the sniffles.
Great
Dude.
job.
I almost sneezed.
I was about to
while
sneeze
on
a second
camera.
ago,
I was
too.
waiting
Holy
for it.
cow.
I'm like, hey, audience, we're pausing because Colby's about to sneeze.
I
I was
almost-
about to sneeze earlier.
Dude,
Then
I almost like
I seen
ran
him
out
do
the
it.
room to go sneeze, dude. That would have been crazy. All right. Let's just get Antoine Winfield was the standout on defense. The standout on offense, who conveniently was on my fantasy team this week, was Michael Lynn Ezekiel Evans. That's not his real name, but I'm just making up stuff. Mike Evans
His Catholic middle name.
had 7 receptions for 162 yards and a touchdown, including the longest touchdown of his career with a 75-yard run, scamper, if you will, to the end zone. Absolutely great game for Mike, man.
He's heating up.
Like I said earlier, a couple weeks ago, he's on pace for one of his best seasons since 2018. I watched the episode and I kept saying 2008, and I feel like an idiot, but it's 2018 on his best pace for one of his best seasons. Like fine wine, man. He gets better with age.
That paycheck's looking better and better and better.
Oh, yeah, I want to keep him.
Open up that book,
Want to
Houston.
keep him, man. But, no, man, just incredible plays, and you just can't say enough about him. You can't say enough, and despite all the naysayers, despite all the haters, man, saying he's too old, he doesn't got it anymore. It's just nice to see that. It's nice to see that. Burning the top off of the defense. And I don't think Carolina necessarily has a terrible secondary either. They really don't. Jeremy Chin's in there. He's a dog. But, yeah, he just blew the top off of them. And then beautiful diving effort. Put that in the Lerv. Put it in the Lerv. That's art. That is
it's
art.
beautiful.
A masterpiece.
And honestly, the most impressive thing about that touchdown was Mike don't be running that fast that often and for that long. And he ran, I mean, that was a slant. The yards after catch were like 55 to 60 yards after that play. I mean, that was maybe 50. Maybe it was like a 20-yard post. But still, that is a long way for Mike to run. And
He burned everybody, man.
He really did. He sniffed the end zone, and he wanted it, and he got it. So shout out to Mike. Of course,
Do you think, like, I'm just now thinking about this, like, thinking about, like, Calvin Johnson stuff. Do you think he might retire after this contract?
Nah,
I
Mike
don't
wants to
think
play,
so.
man.
I think the fact
it's
that he's
kinda-
asking for money, I think
he wants to, but I was thinking about Calvin Johnson the other day with the Thanksgiving game. I'm like, what if Mike would want to retire?
Well, the only thing about
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson is I just think he was defeated because he had to play for the Lions, man.
Yeah,
Mike has
exactly.
a Super Bowl and playoff.
Exactly.
But I mean,
Bucs
Mike's
gave
already
him-
got the Super Bowl ring.
Bucs have been good to him. Bucs gave him a Super Bowl.
Yeah, just
Calvin
think
Johnson retiring was more like just sticking it to the Lions.
Yeah, and I think Calvin Johnson just lost his will to play because he was on so many bad teams. Mike Evans has been to the playoffs the last 3 years and has a Super Bowl, so I don't think he's lost his will to play at this point. Also, I think you guys have all heard it, but we have to say it. Mike Evans, 10 years in a row, 1,000 yards receiving, never been done before. Good job, Mike, man. Hall of Famer, first ballot, book it. I don't care what you guys say. Book that Hall of Fame for him, but good for you, Mike. You impress me every year, man. Father Time has not caught up to you, and I love watching you play. Even if this is your last year, I'll still love watching you play on a different team. But shout out Mike Evans for being a solid rock. But I hope he's on our team next year. That is tough.
Last thing on this conversation, do you guys remember the Lions wide receiver offensive guy from the 90s that was really good?
Barry Sanders?
Barry Sanders. He did it too, so it's like kind of...
Because again, it's a Lions.
It's a Lions.
It's a Lions.
I was wondering. I'm walking down that Lions road. I was trying to find his name. I'm like, let me just show my age. And
I'd
know
say if
Barry
the Bucs
Sanders.
never won, let's say 2020 through 2022 didn't happen, maybe. But most likely
honestly,
before that,
it would have been kind of similar.
they probably would
if
have
we
traded
hadn't
him
had that.
off, honestly. Probably would have traded him off.
He's going to sign somewhere, but it is just an interesting thing to ponder.
No, I agree. I think it's an interesting to ponder.
Yeah, I don't want to think about him going to another team. I feel like that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, too, like, he's always been consistent, man. Doesn't matter who the quarterback has been. He's had some great ones. He's had some not so great ones. He's had injuries, too. But every year, 1,000 yards. Doesn't matter who's throwing the ball to him. He makes plays, and he gets it done. And again, you have to make this guy a Hall of Famer. Have to. First ballot.
Absolutely.
Another solid game for Rachaad White. He had 20 carries, 84 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, and a touchdown. Love to see him keep giving the ball to Rachaad, keep feeding him. He had 3 catches, 22 yards, so keep him the ball. That's over 100 yards total. Keep giving Rachaad the ball. He's electric. He's finding space. Good job by the line, giving him some holds. He had a 30-yard run, which is great. Explosive runs are few and far between for the Bucs. But yeah, this was really the Bucs offense was a tale of two players. It was Rachaad White and Mike Evans. Not a lot of production. That's where I'm looking for. Production from a lot of other people on the team, including, I think we should talk about this, Chris Godwin, who has kind of been the circle of some controversy between him and Todd Bowles recently. So I will recap you. The quote earlier this week is a reporter asked Todd Bowles why Chris Godwin only got 1 touch in this Sunday's game. It was a touchdown on a reverse, but it was 1 touch. And Todd Bowles says, "We're subbing out a lot. He's a little nicked up, so he's not totally 100%. Nobody is, but he's probably more banged up more than most. For him to get the run on the edge was huge. I think it helped us out a lot. So it was good to see him into the end zone." Very weird, considering you would give him on the end around if he's banged up. It's weird. It's just a weird situation. And then Chris Godwin's wife. Sorry about that.
Oh, no. Never want to get the spouse involved.
So, let me find it. Sorry.
This spells trouble.
Before he says it,
trouble.
This is one of those situations where are you going to have Tom Brady or are you going to have the head coach? So, see you later, Todd Bowles. Before we even read it. Same comparison. Is it the player or the coach? Player or the coach? Isn't Godwin signed for a pretty good amount of time?
I don't think he's given the Bucs. We don't even know the quote yet.
I don't even know the quote. I'm
Todd
just
Bowles,
giving the fans something to consider.
Chris Godwin's wife posts on Instagram the fact that he only had 52 snaps on Sunday, which is about where he's been at, 50 range. And then Chris Godwin's wife says on Instagram, "I'm not sure why. We are just blatantly lying here. Regardless of how banged up Chris is, he continues to work his ASS off. Hasn't missed a game, continues to run great routes and get open. I don't know why things are the way they are. This isn't my team to coach. But this lying on Chris and implying negativity on his work ethic is infuriating. Let's not act like he had to be subbed out so much more than usual when in fact he's playing just the same." So, I'm going to be honest. Don't know why Chris Godwin's wife said that. Kind of unfair, I'm being honest with you.
He might have gone home and said something like that.
I know, but I'm saying his snaps were not that much down than his other games. He had 52, I'm looking, 50 snaps week 10, 57 week 11, 58 week 8 and 9, 51
It's only
week 7.
gone down like the last 5 games, and he has been banged up. I don't think Todd Bowles went after his work ethic there.
No, I think that was unfair. And if what she's referring to can't be from the press conference. So this might be some internal drama from the Bucs, which stinks. We don't want to hear that. But, yeah, it's just a weird situation, honestly. For his wife to say something like, and we've never heard anything from Chris Godwin's wife. She's never been someone who's, caused problem for the team. So there has to be something up, something in between Todd Bowles, Chris Godwin and another coach, or maybe between Baker. I don't know. But it's just a weird thing. It's not what you want to see during the stretch run of a playoff team, playoff run. But, I don't know. It's just weird. Weird situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think at the end of the day, man, we don't know what's going on internally. So I'm not going to make any speculations that there's some feud between anybody, whether it's the wide receivers coach, Dave Canales, Baker. I just think, from what I see he went from playing basically his whole career with Tom Brady so far, then playing 1 year with Baker. No offense to Baker, he's not going to see you as well as Tom Brady might have. He's not going to get you open as well as Tom Brady might have.
But he's done it with Mike, though, which is it's just interesting. Baker's played really good.
People have their favorite toys.
No, but I'm just saying, Tom Brady was able to spread it between Mike and Chris Godwin and others. And obviously, Tom Brady's better than Baker Mayfield. We get that. However, it has been weird to see how Baker and Mike Evans have seemed to kind of increase their chemistry, and it hasn't really seemed the same with Chris Godwin and Baker. There's been a couple good games, but Chris Godwin is definitely more capable of what he's been doing on the field, and I do think it could be from lack of targets or lack of looking at him.
It's not a good look. It's one of those things we might hear more about during the next coaching regimen, or however you say that word. So, yeah, that's it's one of those things you don't want to hear, but let's just keep winning in the midst of it.
Yeah,
it's drama, but
yeah,
it's football.
I don't know.
It's one of those things where it's you get the vibe that this is Todd Bowles' last season unless something changes miraculously. I know we're not doing this, but
we're winning the Super Bowl.
But this is kind of like piling on top of it. It's kind of like you're kicking a man when he's down, honestly.
Yeah, but what if it's between Baker and him? You can't blame Bowles for that.
Bowles could get in the middle and say, "Hey, kids, we're playing baseball."
These aren't kids, though. These are grown men.
I think it wouldn't have come off that way if it wasn't between a coach. I don't think it's between him and Baker. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was because Todd Bowles wasn't being negative.
No,
wasn't going after his work ethic. I think that's probably just the media or fans.
So what I'm actually defending Bowles here.
I
agree with you.
Clickbait.
No, I agree. I think I just think it's kind of weird that she's coming after him at this point where Todd Bowles is down. She's already going after him when he's down, and a lot of people want him gone to kind of rile up, and it's weird timing to me. That's
okay.
Why
That's my question. Did she just post this, or
Yes.
did she actually respond to?
I think she
Bowles?
posted it on her Instagram.
Because if she just posted how we know she's referring to Bowles is what I'm. That's what I'm saying.
She literally put a screenshot of the quote on her.
That's what I was asking. Okay.
Yes. I could see if she posted it, but
yeah. Well, that's weird. Then I don't
it's
understand that
weird
at all.
timing. Weird everything, man. This is
Chris Godwin is replaceable. I shouldn't say he's Tom Brady, but it is just this ain't good.
Let me see. Yeah, but this is just, I don't know, man. I saw it and let me see. Let me see. This is on her Instagram story. She posted it on her Instagram story. Look,
weird.
she posted the clip, the thing, and then she posted the thing, and then she spoke on it. Weird situation. Don't like to see it for the Bucs. But to get past all that negativity, unless you guys got anything about this game, I think we should look ahead to probably the biggest game of the season.
Yeah.
Truly the biggest game of the season.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a NFC South clash in Atlanta. The first place Atlanta Falcons coming in at 6-6 face the second place Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming in at 5-7. It's a huge game. Bucs win. They will be tied with the Falcons for first place with split season series, so it's a full tie and everything to play for it down the season stretch. If the Bucs lose, they will be 2 games behind the Falcons and will not have the tiebreaker. So this is a huge game for the Bucs.
Yeah, it's a must-win, 100% a must-win. You got to own the tiebreaker. And this is an easy team to beat. I know we saw the last time they played, it wasn't pretty, but I still think at the end of the day, this should be a win for the Bucs. I mean, we've seen Desmond Ridder get benched since then. They've put in the GOAT, Taylor Heineke. It hasn't worked out for him. This team has struggled a lot.
Yeah, they're back to Ridder.
Yeah, they're back to Ridder. And I'm going through the stats here. I mean, the Falcons are 25th in scoring, 18th in total offense, 6th in rushing, which is good, but then 22 in passing offense, 14th on third down, 21st in red zone. I mean, there's nothing impressive outside their rushing offense, which I really think isn't even that great. I mean, they didn't even play Bijan. I mean, they didn't even play Bijan Robinson that much.
Against the Bucs?
Against the Bucs.
Yes,
he's their biggest
that
weapon.
was the day he was sick, and they said
Sick.
sick. I don't know. When I look back at this game that happened a few weeks ago, Falcons at the Bucs, I look at the fact that the Falcons were able to kind of move the ball up and down the field in the Bucs defense. They only ended up with 16 points, but that was because of some splendid red zone defense and some sloppy mistakes by the Falcons in the red zone. But I look in the Falcons without Bijan Robinson ran for 156 yards on the Bucs. They have got to tighten that up in this game if they want to win it this one.
Yeah, and I think turnovers are a big thing too. I think we saw the Bucs get a lot of them. Now, granted, most of them were pretty deep in their own territory, but I think you can turn the ball over on this team.
But the Bucs also had 2 of their own in that game.
They did have 2 of their own. But I'm saying that if we're sticking defensively right now, Desmond Ridder can clearly turn the ball over. He's already got benched. Let's do this in plus territory. Let's do this on their side of the field instead of ours. So you do that. That is a huge key to winning this game.
It's a matter of keeping them off the scoreboard. Even in their losses, 4 out of the last 5 weeks, they put up at least 23 points. So the number's going to have to be lower than that if we want to win this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and for you guys' injury update, we know that Servachier Dennis and Levante David were both back at practice this week, and I'm not exactly sure about White or Dean. I did not see an update.
Yeah, I actually got the injury report right here. Devin White, this is, December 6th that we're filming this?
Yes.
Devin White, he did not participate today. Neither did Vita Vea. He did not participate. Servachier Dennis, full participation. Levante David, full participant. Jamel Dean did not participate, though. So I think Todd Bowles said it as well. We will most likely see Levante, maybe Servachier, but probably not Devin White still. Probably not Devin White. But I think he just needs to recover.
The one we're seeing that I really hope for, obviously Vita Vea, but I think I think they give him a day off.
It might be his rest day. It doesn't say. It might be.
I think they do normally, but
big boy
needs some big rest. But would love to see Jamel Dean in this game. Would love to see Jamel Dean. I don't know what's up with him. I know that was a pretty bad ankle injury for him. I don't know the extent of it, but it did seem he had to get carted off or helped off, whatever. So if we could see Jamel Dean in this game, it would be awesome. But I mean, if not, we want to see the corners play like they did last week. They had a pretty solid game, like we said. Shut down Adam Thielen. Kept the rookie quarterback at bay, didn't let him get hot. So that's what we need. Desmond Ridder's no better. He actually had one of his better games against the Bucs. Unfortunately, last game he was 19 out of 25 for 250 yards. So to let him complete, like 75% of his passes or so, like around
We're not
that.
math guys.
That's about I think.
You know that about me. I'm not a math guy.
I think 20 out of 25 would be 80. So it's over 75%.
Yeah,
I'm right there.
You're right there, man.
I'm right
you
there.
did better than I did.
I'm right there.
Or I
So
would.
we cannot let that happen. Cannot let that happen as a Bucs defense. And I think, look at offense. We can move on to that. I think, first off, you got anything?
Yeah, well, if we're looking at injuries, I think somebody who's had a great season for the Falcons defensively has been A.J. Terrell, the cornerback. He's finally had kind of a breakout year.
Him and Mike were going at it last game. I remember
Yeah,
that.
they were, but he is in concussion protocol, so we might not see him. And then their other cornerback, Jeff Okudah, traded from the Detroit Lions, if that name sounds familiar. He also is a limited participant in practice. Nate Landman, the linebacker from Colorado, before the Coach Prime era, he is out. He had a good game against the Bucs, actually. So, yeah, there might be some key pieces for the Falcons defense who won't be playing.
Yeah, on offense, I think the Falcons ran for more than 80 yards than the Bucs. 80 more yards than the Bucs. The Bucs only ran for 73 yards in that game. I think if you can strike even in the run game, if you can get that number up to 100 and hold the Falcons down to 100, you're in a great spot to win this game because the Falcons really rely on that run game to, bolster their whole team. And if you can strike even, I think the Bucs have a great shot of winning this. Also, another big key, like we mentioned, don't turn over the ball. Baker had an interception in that game. There was a fumble. I think, if I remember correctly, there was a couple sketchy throws, I feel like, in that game from Baker. So be careful with the football. It's a road game. You don't want to let the crowd get into it. And come out even in the rush game, win the turnover battle. That will be huge for the Bucs this Sunday.
Yeah, I think to go a little bit off of your point there of the rushing game, I'm expecting a big day for the rushing game for the Bucs. I really am. Call me crazy or call me psychic when it happens, but I think the Bucs are going to have a huge day running the ball. Past 2 games, Rachaad White 184 yards. That's the most in a 2-game span for the Buccaneers since the first 2 games of last season with playoff Lenny Fournette. So I think they're slowly getting better, and we might see a breakout run performance from your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, it's all about putting points on the board. Like, even last week, we only put up, I couldn't tell you the number.
21.
21? Okay.
21.
I felt like it was like a 17.
21.
Game. So just put points on the board. Like, you're going to have to match what the Falcons are going to be putting up.
Only 13 against the Falcons last time. So, yes, put up points. Let's have better Baker game. Let's spread the ball around. Let's find Evans. Let's find Godwin. Keep feeding Rachaad. I think we're in a good spot. I really do feel like the Bucs have a better team than the Falcons. I feel like the Falcons have kind of had some things go the right way for them to get extra wins, and the Bucs have had the opposite things go wrong for them to lose games that I feel like they very much could have won. So I think this is a huge game, man. This is a huge game. I'm curious to see where Joel's head is at
I already
this
know what
game.
he's
So
doing.
Joel,
I've been flaunting my phone around Will's face, so
Yeah,
it wasn't
I-
intentional, but I knew he read it.
I
Alright.
saw it. And
Hey, that could be a good thing though, guys. Just from the tone. Don't
it definitely
assume.
won't.
Don't
It
assume.
definitely won't.
What if I change it?
I hope you did.
No,
but
stick
before
with
we
it.
get to the predictions, last week we all picked the Bucs. We all got it correct. Joel, you were pretty close. You said 20-13. That was probably the closest. Colby said Bucs 26-10. I said Bucs 27-6. So we all got the win, but Joel, you were pretty close on the score there.
One of these days, we're running out of time. But if we're doing it in 2024, maybe we got a shot.
We got 5 games, and we still got.
we got 60-something bowl games to predict. We
I
gotta get
I don't know if
score
we're
right.
doing the score for all those, but
Yeah,
we can't
true,
be
true,
predicting
true.
the Colorado
True.
Tech score.
Yeah, maybe. Who says we can't? No. Joel, what you got?
I'm gonna go 23-20 Falcons. It's just they put up points. We're pretty banged up. They're banged up. It's gonna be a close ball game, but
Is that another Younghoe Koo game-winning field goal for the Falcons against the Bucs this season?
I can't bear.
Is
to
that
watch
gonna happen?
I
I
can't.
mean it's a game with the field goals if you do your
Oh,
if you do
man.
your football math.
I can't bear to watch that either. man.
I'll probably be wrong, but I'm playing for points, so
Don't
Got-
bother watching,
gotta-
guys.
gotta go for
Joel
the
picked the Bucs
I'm
to
on,
lose.
I'm on a pretty I've lost a couple games. Like every time I pick the loss, I think
No, let's see.
I know I missed one the other day.
Oh, you were wrong with the Titans.
I was
You were wrong with the
and
Titans.
I was mad about that game because we were close to losing it.
All right, I'll go. I'll
So-
go
so
because
what-
now I'm fired up.
So I'm like
I'm
9-1?
fired up. I'm juiced. Well, I'll do one of these days. I'll break down some of the points. Maybe get some accuracy. Who's been the most accurate? Because I know there is some point like we have a lead. We have a certain lead, but I don't know if necessarily the leader's been the most accurate because some people have gotten some bonuses or just certain chunk of stuff
I've been
right.
Looking
so.
out on the playoffs.
We'll see. We'll get it all squared away. But now I'm fired up. Fired up. We already got people doubting the Bucs. But I won't be one of them because I just think this Falcons team is not even close to the team we saw a couple weeks ago. I think that team is a little battered. I think they've had some real issues on offense, and it seemed ever since that win, their season has seemed to be going south. Ours has kind of been flatline. I don't think the Bucs have gotten better or worse. I think it's been kind of subpar because I think the Bucs are consistent. They will always put you in games. They will always make it close. But I think the Bucs are looking for revenge. They are looking for revenge. They want to send the ATL home sad. They want to get everybody riled up. They just want to win, man. They just want to win.
It's hard to beat a division rival 2 times in a year.
It is very hard. Very hard. That is a very good point. That's why I'm saying your Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win this game 19-13.
Is that 4 field goals?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Yes, it is. Yeah.
19-13. Bucs are winning.
That was a great year. I don't think so. All right, so I was on the fringe of this game. I was going both ways. I just don't like the way the Bucs are banged up. However, the Falcons are banged up too, and the Bucs seem to be getting a little stronger this week as the Falcons seem to be getting a little weaker. And it's hard to beat a division rival 2 times in a row. The Bucs seem to be better on the road this season. They seem to rise to the occasion on the road. They kind of take the personality of
Baker's
Baker
a road
Mayfield.
warrior, man.
Mm-hmm. They kind of take the
Road
personality
warrior.
of Baker.
Good point.
They're warriors on the road. They're gonna go in there and they're gonna win this game 24-17 in Atlanta. They're gonna win this game. They're gonna have a good offensive game too.
That would be a great game.
That would be
a great game.
That's what I want to see.
Give it to me. Give it to me, Tampa Bay. We want to see it. I think that's it. Yeah, man, I haven't even said where you can watch this game, guys. I'm so sorry about that. You can catch your Buccaneers Sunday, December 10th, 1 o'clock on CBS. What is with all the CBS games?
Dude,
I want a Fox game.
Give me Matt Ryan and Tiki Barber, and that will be a W for the Bucs because we
That's
2-0.
possible.
That's possible.
That is possible.
Give me that commentating crew, and the Bucs will win this game. All right.
How biased is Matt Ryan? Like, is he gonna sneak?
Remember we talked about how he wasn't.
He seemed to be
biased.
pretty good,
Yeah.
man.
All right, but
he
I mean,
seemed to be pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot that's going to be his Falcons team. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But that'll be funny. I don't care. The Bucs win when they commentate the games. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. But yes, speaking of winning, the Lightning did none of that last week
Do we have to talk about this?
In the last calendar week, we'll talk about the game Monday. They go 0-4 in this week. After probably the biggest game of their season, Vazzy's back. The momentum is for the Lightning, and then they just decide that they're taking a week off, and they had 4 games this week, and we'll start off in the big game in Colorado against the Avalanche, 2022 Stanley Cup rematch, and this was all Avalanche. The Avalanche's goaltender, Gorgiev, had a very good game.
Gorgiev.
Yep, he had a great game this game, and that's all they needed because the Avalanche are dangerous. They had 2 Ryan Johansson goals, turning back the clock against the Lightning, and then a Cale Makar power play goal. The Lightning go up 3-0. Anthony Cirelli has a beautiful breakaway goal to cut it to 3-1, but then Val Nichushkin gets an empty net goal to cement the Colorado Avalanche's 4-1 victory. But the Lightning have all the opportunity in the world to erase these bad memories because they play back-to-back the next night. We got a good backup goaltender, Jonas Johansson, in this game. However, he did not have a great game, let in a couple softies, and early on in the first period, Canson of the Coyotes gets them on the board 1-0. And then Boyd puts them up 2-0. But the Lightning strike back. Braden Point cuts the lead down to 2-1. However, Canson gets his second goal of the night in the third period. Don't know all these young players. The Coyotes are looking pretty good this year. They're looking like they're coming back to some relevance with these young players.
They're gonna sell that arena out.
Yep, they are.
Was it packed? All 600 fans showed
It felt
up?
packed when I saw it.
It looked good on TV.
Yeah.
They're kind of pulling the Rays move where they're putting it all like a low tier.
Yeah, for sure. But yes, the Coyotes win this game 3-1, and the Lightning lose 2 games in 2 days. But they're back. They are back home for some of those mid-2010s rematches of those Eastern Conference Finals against the Pittsburgh Penguins with some old superstars, but they can still go. But the Lightning show that they want to win this game, man. They jump out to a early 2-0 lead as Steven Stamkos and Tanner Jeannot get 2 goals in the first period, and you're feeling good that the Lightning are going to get back on track. However, the Pittsburgh Penguins score 4 unanswered goals. Sidney Crosby, bang. O'Connor, bang. Carter, bang. And then the most backbreaking of them all, Tristan Jarry, a goalie goal all the way down the ice in Amalie Arena. Just what a moment, but I hate that it's against the Lightning. But what a moment, but the Lightning lose this game.
Penguins fans and they're cheering.
Yes, they were hyped. I think the Lightning fans were cheering, which honestly, I can't blame them. That's awesome. I think I would have cheered a little.
Me sick,
I hate when cool things happen against my teams.
Has Vazzy had any of those?
No.
Yeah,
there's only been like 4 in the history of the NHL. There's not been a lot. Yes,
wow.
There has not been a lot. So, Penguins win this game 4-2. And the Lightning are looking to salvage a week with an afternoon game in Dallas, and we're just going to act like that didn't happen. The Dallas Stars win this one 8-1. Vasilevsky's pulled. Bad game all around. Just bad. Bad game.
That was a tough game. Like, I was trying to watch college football. I'm like, no, I'm going to be a good boy and I'm going to watch my Lightning.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, we're just going to lose this game 8-1.
They were like, nope, you're watching college football, Joel.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes, but then the Lightning go back home to rematch against the Stars. This is Monday of this week that we're recording. And the Lightning bounce back. They win their first game of the week. They win this one 4-0. We got a Cooch goal, a Cirelli goal, Luke Glendening, a beauty, Anthony Cirelli, another beauty. And they win this one 4-0. So in the last 5 games that we're going to recap, the Lightning are 1-5.
I didn't think they were going to win again. Well, aren't they 1-4?
Yep, 1-4.
1-4.
My bad.
I was like, oh, can't be that bad. But yeah, I didn't think they'd win a game ever again. It was, it just got bad to worse. It got bad to worse because I think we even talked about it. I think we were our predictions. Yeah, we were pretty much on the same page.
We thought last week
thinking
was
a
gonna be
2-2 type week. 2-2 type week.
Yeah.
We said they had 2 tough games. That was the Avalanche and the Stars. And then Coyotes should have been winnable, and Penguins should have been winnable too. Was not expecting 0-4. Was not expecting that. And I just have no answers. I have really no answers for why it is. It's early in the season. I just want to leave it at that.
Just from the outside looking in, you think it might be like Vazzy's back, or I want to say they won the first game he was back, but I'm not looking at this.
Yeah, that was the game they blew out Carolina.
That was the game they scored 8 goals.
Okay, yeah, they won that game, so it was like, woo, Vazzy's back. And then after that, it was just like, all right, pack it up, guys. We did what we needed to do. Vazzy's back.
Yeah, and it's hard. Those first 2 games, that's a road trip. You went from Carolina to Colorado to Arizona. That's a tough road trip. I'll give them credit. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that. But, truly in these games, the defense looked horrible. It's not even the giveaways at this point. It's not even sloppy with the puck. They're just letting people run right by them. They look a little bit lost out there. They looked, honestly, they looked like they weren't given as much effort as they could, to be honest with you, because these players are just kind of like skating right past them. They just look a step slow all week last week.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up because I don't know what it is. Look, I've never played hockey in my life. I've never played it, okay? Love the sport. I watch the Lightning.
He's pretty good in street hockey.
I
wouldn't say that.
I don't know if I'm one of the best. I had my moments, But anyways, it's just like when you look at hockey and there's usually like a 2-on-2, the defense seems pretty simple. If you're on the right side, if you're the right side defenseman, left side, you go with that guy there. And I was hard on, who was it? Blake Chernak?
Eric Chernak.
Eric Chernak, sorry.
And Radish, right? Radish last week
Radish,
we talked
about. I think it was Chernak was the biggest one in the Columbus game where he just totally leaves his man on the one side. He's got a one-on-one and just totally blasts Johansson, knocks the net off the pokes or whatever you call it. And I was like, that just must be a him thing. But I think it must be to get to my point. It must be some schematic thing because then we see Victor Hedman do it against Colorado. He should have been on Ryan Johansson. He's right there. He just skates over, gets totally out of position, and he's got an easy goal. Johansson had an easy goal. So it must be some new scheme they're doing that they've been working on this year because I just don't understand. Because it's like, that's Victor Hedman, okay? That guy, we know his caliber of play.
1,000 career games, by the way.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like a mistake he would make. So I got to say it's got to be the scheme. Got to be the scheme.
Yeah, and I think the scheme, like, I don't know, it's either that or they're just completely misjudging pucks in the neutral zone. Because that kind of was what jumped out to me was, like, the giveaways in their own zone wasn't that bad this week. They just seemed to really misjudge plays or speed of players or where the puck's going in the neutral zone, and it was leading to a lot of odd man rushes. So
to one of the games I was watching, I heard the guy that stands on the ice. He said the ice wasn't good. One of it might have been the Colorado. No, it was the Colorado game.
Okay.
So a little while ago now, but he said the ice wasn't good in that game. So that's one of those excuses you can throw out, but it doesn't really help for the other games. But it's like,
is that the classic old NHL slop up the ice to stop the other team to slow them down?
Something like that, yeah.
Hey, maybe.
That and then the altitude, like they were saying that's part of the struggles in that game.
And like I said, losing to the Avs isn't necessarily like I'm not upset about
honestly,
it. That's going to happen.
In that game, the Lightning probably that was their best game of the week. They lost 4-1, but they were not outplayed that much. Like I said, Georgiev had a great game. He made a bunch of really good stops. Not to say the Avalanche played bad or got lucky or anything, but I felt like the Lightning seemed really even in that game, and there was just a better goalie play for Georgiev.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not disappointed. What disappoints me is the next game, and that would be the Coyotes. Because, one, I'm sorry, you don't lose the Coyotes. Yeah. They're the worst team in the NHL.
The Coyotes,
you don't lose.
The Coyotes have won 5 straight games against the 5 past Stanley Cup winners in this season. So the Coyotes are better than we're giving them credit for. Young team. However, I think after that early goal against the Coyotes scored. Sorry, guys. The early goal the Coyotes scored kind of took the wind out of the Lightning's sails for that game, and they kind of I think they kind of packed it up for that game, unfortunately, and trying to get to the plane home early.
Yeah,
it's kind of just something they do.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that is when you win when you have so much playoff success. I mean, it's hard. Like, honestly, here now, like, it's hard for me as a fan to get into regular season games like I do for Bucs or Rays. Because, well, one, football's different. Football regular season is completely different. But like Rays, you feel like they haven't won that World Series yet, so you feel so invested in their journey up to the World Series. But after the Lightning have won a couple Stanley Cups, you kind of feel like the regular season's irrelevant. So that's something that we're all kind of trying to get through and get to watch these games. And I kind of feel like that boils over to the players as well.
I'd be interested to talk to a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, see if they felt that a few years ago, like after that run where they had like a couple Stanley Cups in like 3 years. Like, I wonder if they kind of felt like, it was kind of hard to watch the regular season. It's like, this is just the preseason.
Yeah, I think that is a point. Like, I mean, it's so early in the season, and we know what this team is capable of. It's a little different because we're living in it right now. We're watching the games, and we have to talk about it too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of the problems seem to magnify a little bit more. You still want to see your teams win. You still want to see them beat lesser opponents. I think one thing to bring up about the game actually is I didn't even know this. Didn't even think about it, but their goalie there, no-name guy, no offense to him, I'm not going to say that. I was just going to fire him up. Yeah. Connor Ingram. He has stopped in the past 2 games against the Lightning 64 consecutive. He's made 64 consecutive saves before. It was Braden Point who scored, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so apparently he locks in when he plays the Bolts, of course. I think, too, I think the Lightning, it frustrates me because it's not always going to be your night. I still think the Lightning, I mean, they still control the puck so much. They're in Arizona's zone.
Yeah.
The majority, I don't know the exact time of possession.
They had back-to-back really. Well, to be fair, the chances in the Coyotes game were not as good as the ones in the Avalanche game. In the Avalanche game, by the way, the Lightning had a goal taken away due to offside, so that hurts too. Those ones always hurt. But the opportunities were more long shots in that Coyotes game, which kind of makes it hard. You know, they weren't getting the kind of like movement from in front of the net like they normally do. So credit to the Coyotes
that's
on
what
that one.
I think it was Hedman who said that in the post-game interview, that they did good shutting down the middle of the ice, which was really tough for the Lightning. I still think they played a pretty good game outside of that on offense, at least, because their puck control was really good. Just couldn't get anything to go in. I think the Coyotes had a good game plan, but all with that being said, you would have liked to see him win.
I thought the Coyotes had a longer winning streak against us, but it's only at 2. Like, I would have thought it was like 4.
Yeah, it's just been the last 2 games.
Yeah,
the
they've
one
been-
loss.
Connor Ingram,
They've been
man.
tough.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and I mean,
Penguins, same old, same old.
Well, 2-0 lead, man. The Lightning haven't blown a lead like that in a while. They've been getting off to slow starts, but 2-0 lead blown and 4 unanswered goals is brutal. Brutal, man.
Yeah, I just hate that because 2-0 lead, I'm feeling good. Give it 4 straight, and just hate to see it. Hate to see it. And I don't even want to talk.
No, don't talk about Stars game.
Don't want
That's
to talk. Just skip that.
That's like the
skip it.
20-run Blue Jays game. We don't care about that. You know who won the series at the Trop? 3 out of 4. The Rays did.
Let's talk about a
Yeah.
win.
Yeah,
Let's talk about a win.
We'll talk about the revenge of the Lightning against the Stars. This was Victor Hedman's 1,000 career game. Congrats to him. Absolute class act. Nails in the middle of the defense. So good for him. Love to see you do your thing, Hetty. But yeah, defense was great. In his honor, honestly, defense was great. You hold him to a shutout. The Stars only have 25 shots on goal. Vazzy saves them all. You know, there's not a bunch of huge, great opportunities. And the Lightning get 4 goals. This is a textbook win for the Lightning.
So there's a guy I listen to on a podcast, and he's from Dallas, but he does some Tampa Bay stuff too. And one of the guys asked him, they were like, "How do you feel about that Dallas loss last night?" And he's like, "I don't really care. I'm still like languishing in the glory of the Rangers World Series." I was like, "Dang, that hurts."
You had to bring up the Rays, man.
I'm just
You
quoting the
didn't
guy.
even say it, but like it just makes me think only about the Rays.
I miss them
I was
so
just
much.
yeah, that's a fair way to look at it for the Dallas fan that lost the game.
No, to get to the game more positive for the Lightning, I don't know. There's just something about Vazzy, man. Because like, yeah, he's had some up and downs, but like that was like prime Vazzy.
Mm-hmm.
That was prime Big Cat. I know it's only a couple games in since the injury, but there's just something different about that game. There's something different, and maybe this week he'll be back to the old Vaz, the one we love seeing. Maybe
So far, so good.
So far,
maybe
so good.
yeah, maybe there's a certain game tonight while we're filming this. I don't know the outcome because I'll be in the next episode of TV3.
I don't know what happened, but yes,
Maybe it was good.
I just
Maybe
want to
it
say
was good.
shout out Luke Glendening. Great job. Great goal, man. He was also don't shout out because me and Will picks Luke Glendening. I pick Nikita Kucherov. In the week we
To
picked
score a
him,
goal last
to
week.
score a goal. And the week we picked him, neither of them score. And then the first game of the week they're ineligible to give us points. They both score for Will and me.
Thanks, guys.
Brutal for us.
Stammer got me a goal.
But Stammer was getting like all the goals last week, man. Stammer's been rock solid this season. I think we don't talk about him enough, man. He's had a really good start to this season.
He's Mike Evans of the Lightning
That's
right now.
true.
He wants a bag. He wants a bag.
Oh,
That's true.
this is his contract year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
Wonder
need
why
to pay Stammer
that's
though.
scary.
Why he's playing so
You
good.
pay Stammer, but like
You pay Stammer.
you're gonna
It's your
start
captain.
looking like a museum if you pay him.
Maybe.
I mean,
no,
I'll
Stammer's still
I
playing
think
at a high level, man.
No, it's not that. You just lose a lot of the other guys.
We'll see, man.
I don't know.
I hope he doesn't want to break the bank, man. I really.
I don't
do.
think so,
he
dude.
Gave us the friendly contract last year.
I thought the
or
one
last time
I
around.
thought the one we got last time was like a pretty hefty contract.
It was one of those things where Toronto was going to give him more value, but with the Florida lack of state taxes and all those kind of things, it worked out better for him. So it was like, I'm just
Gotcha.
going to stay.
Man, that was a scary day.
That was.
Ew, especially the
would've
Blue
hated if he was
Jays.
on the
I would have hated him
Blues,
just
man.
for going there.
Oh yeah, that would have.
But I love him.
But
Love
now
him.
he has
He's my
2
hero.
Stanley Cup championships since then.
And
So
how
think
many
about that.
do the Maple Leafs have?
They have 1 playoff win, series win, 1.
Yeah,
That's
so
pathetic.
Put a banner up, guys.
Yep. No, the Rays would do that. All right, we're not talking about the Rays, but yeah, I mean, good game, solid. I think that's it. And we're gonna preview. I mean, the Penguins. We already know what this. It's a pretty soft week. Penguins game, get some revenge.
They should be able to do it.
All the teams the Lightning have already played. They beat the Predators to start the season. They're going into Nashville on Thursday, and then they lost to the Kraken in overtime. They're going into Seattle to start another West Coast road trip for the Lightning next week. So,
goodness, I feel like they're always on the road.
That's the problem.
Man.
Like, you add Seattle, you don't think about it, but that's just an extra road game you got to do.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, woo, Seattle Kraken. But it's like, no, 10 o'clock start time's what that is.
Oh, I love 10 o'clock start times, man.
I got to go to sleep.
But yeah, by the time you're listening to this, the Lightning Penguin game already happened. Don't spoil it for me. I want to know the score, so yeah, don't spoil it. Thursday, 12-7, that game, Colby already said, the Predators, 8 p.m. on Bally. Saturday, 12-9, the Kraken. That is 10 p.m. 10 p.m. on Bally as well. So there you go. You know where to watch it. We already had our predictions in at the beginning of the week.
We locked them in, guys. No cheating.
Them in. We aren't cheaters. This is the most sacred thing we do. There's so much integrity that goes into it. Joel, this week you said, Mr. Negative, 1-3.
Okay. The Lightning are a stinking coin flip. If I had given my 0-3 or 4 one that I had a couple weeks ago last week, I look like the smartest guy in the
You
room.
were 1 week off the 0 for week.
I was so sad.
You have to flip it. So next week you have to go bad again. A week after you have to go really good, and you'll be on track.
I don't know.
But yeah, you said 1-3. Nick Paul gets you a goal. I don't know. Wait, who scored in against Dallas again this week? See if somebody already got it.
I know
I
someone.
can't think off the top of my head.
Kucherov, Cirelli, Glendening, Cirelli. Nope.
Nobody got it yet.
Don't spoil anything.
We don't know anything.
We don't know anything, but
we don't know anything.
I
But I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking
about.
about. Colby said 3-1. Mr. Positive, Mr. Jolly Roger said Tanner Janot would score. Oh man,
don't
will he
spoil
do
it. Will he do it? I don't know.
I said 3-1, and I picked Alex Barre-Boulet. Oh man, come on, get me a goal. I need a point. I didn't get one last week. I went really out of the pocket with Glendening, and he gets it. Not when I picked him, but it's okay. This week, Barre-Boulet is going to come in clutch, whether that be Nashville or the Seattle Kraken.
Oh, I didn't even know we were playing the Kraken. See, this stupid Kraken are making us play a 10 o'clock game.
Yep. Hey,
why'd you have to exist?
it's Saturday night, though. Saturday night, though. You got church in the morning. I love 10 o'clock games. Don't get me wrong.
Little
Love
night
'em.
action.
Yep.
Fall asleep to it.
Late night with the Bolts. All right, so thank you guys for listening. That's it. Like we said, this is just Tampa Bay Pro Sports. We did Bucs, we did Lightning. So this is going to come out on Thursday. Be on the lookout for our college football episode on Saturday, guys. Be on the lookout for it. Thank you, guys. Look out for the timestamps. Click wherever you want to go. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter/X. Subscribe on the YouTube. Give us the 5 stars on Spotify. And thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, give us your predictions. How do you think the Lightning do this week? How do you think the Bucs do this week? We want to hear it. I'm going to close us out with Fox because I don't know why the Bucs keep playing on CBS. Give me Fox back. Fire the cannons.